Welcome to the iPad Apps First Look channel, and this is, of course, the quick look of the Apple Keynote today at WWDC 17. This was, of course, the keynote that happened today, June 5th, 2017, where there's a lot of little announcements, and we have a little roundup here of what was the announcements. Quick roundup of the interesting announcements. So Keynote happened and lasted 2 hours and 35 minutes. Of course, opened and closed with Tim Cook, Apple CEO. And interesting announcements. Not the most amazing of announcements, but basically more interesting than last year, I would say. So what was announced today? First of all, of course, we have tvOS that has an upgrade. tvOS being the, of course, operating system of Apple TV, brings something that is actually not only surprising, but I think it was necessary to have it because of the fact that it's a very important competing platform. And sales of Apple TV are not that great actually. So it's interesting to see that they are actually updating this for sure. So what is the major new feature of tvOS for Apple TV is the Amazon Prime Video app. It's now coming there. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, you'll have your videos, TV shows, movies, everything available on your computer, your Apple TV. So this is very interesting. Then you've got watchOS 4. Not as big an improvement as last year, but still interesting. Then this new version, Siri powered watch face uses machine learning to customize content and be a little more intelligent in what it wants to offer you. Smarter controls and measure of workouts and sports. So this is going to be appealing for all of those that are, of course, on the sporting side of devices. Improvements in connectivity with Bluetooth devices, including what they did not show, but that is apparently coming, a glucose monitor that apparently will measure your blood sugar without having to basically use a little needle to get blood from you. Going to be interesting to see what's going to be this new device. iPad Pro 2 announced with new sizes with 10.5 and 12.9 inch sizes with True Tone screen, brighter screen than ever, new 6-core A10X Fusion chip, 30% improvement in CPU performance, 40% in graphics improvements, and of course all sorts of new slide and drop feature in the apps, a new file manager system with iOS 11. Now this is very interesting, as a very MacBook-like screen, I gotta say, in the way they do it. It also has, thanks to iOS 11, the redesigned new feature with the File app. Also a full width keyboard on screen and a full width keyboard cover that will be available for these devices. MacBooks and iMacs are, of course, refreshed. Not major refreshes, but basically they're pushing them into more modern technology with the usage of new Kaby Lake 7th generation 4K video dedicated graphics, new 5K also Retina displays on iMacs. MacBook Pros also get faster chips. And what's interesting and new is mostly the introduction of an iMac Pro starting at $4,000 or $5,000, sorry, for $4,999 is the price, starting price. And this one is a whopper of a very powerful machine, meant for VR and everything, so kind of interesting to see this. And of course, talking about Mac computers, Mac OS High Sierra will be the next version of Mac OS. It will be 10.13. It is not a major update. As Apple put it, they simply perfected the Mac OS Sierra operating system by making it a little better, more performance. Also, all sorts of new little features like 35% less disk space used by the Mail app, Photos app also using pictures that will be smaller. So all sorts of little improvements here and there, I would say. So basically, Mac OS High Sierra is the next update coming this fall for Mac computers for free. iOS 11, this is probably one of the major news today, will be available in the fall, is available right now for developers, and basically has a new look, new redesigned. Has a very interesting new Apple Pay, which actually lets you send money from iMessages to other users. So this is pretty cool. And when they are going to use a new card called the Apple Pay Cash Card. So this will be a new feature that you can have, and of course that will enable you to send and receive money, like I said, through iMessages, so making it faster or simpler for transfers. Siri, with a more natural voice, both for the woman and man voice, will now be able to translate queries into other languages like Chinese, French, Spanish. More languages coming soon. Pictures will be up to 15%, 50% smaller in sizes, thanks to a new algorithm to make it, smaller but still retain the high quality. Redesigned lock screen, notifications panel, redesigned App Store also will feature a today part where every day you'll have the top new apps of the day. Then you will have, of course, a separate game section that will, and you will, of course, have developers that will have phase releases if they want to take time to release something. Of course, more information on the developers and on the apps themselves. New Maps app also that will not only give you the possibility to simply know where you're going, but also will have, for example, instructions on which lane you should be in to actually keep your destination okay. So all sorts of new little things like that. One of the interesting features that I'm not sure everybody will like, but it is interesting and I think a good step forward, a new do not disturb while driving feature. Might be annoying for some, but it's now included to make car driving safer. Actually, what it will do is it will detect that you're moving at a certain speed, so it knows that you're maybe in a car. It will know either by Bluetooth if you connect to your car through Bluetooth, or if you don't connect through Bluetooth, it can actually, with the Wi-Fi signal, see the Doppler shift while you're moving. And this will actually tell it that you're moving and that you're in a car probably. Of course, it will tell you one thing. It will ask you if you want to turn it on, and of course, you'll be able, if you are not a driver, to disable the feature so you can use your phone. But it's a very interesting feature, I think, very, very useful. It might save lives. And if you actually receive a text message, for example, or a call, what's going to happen is the other caller or the text message will simply kind of reply back, oh, I'm in do not disturb while driving mode. I'll reply to you later. And if you actually text urgent, it will actually go through if it's a very urgent little something that they want to tell you. There will be, of course, now HomeKit now will support AirPlay 2 improvements across your home of audio sharing with AirPlay 2, much more and easier sharing of music and content through your different devices. New augmented reality kit for augmented reality that will work directly for the Mac computer. So this is all things coming this fall with the apps and devices. And the last little bit, as they always say, there's one little thing left that we need to talk about, and HomePod. So we knew that, or everybody was calling it the Siri speaker, but actually HomePod is the real name of this Siri speaker, priced at $349. It is a interesting device. It is, of course, the centerpiece of listening to music and basically controlling your environment. It will include amazing audio, apparently, for the size that it is, less than 7 inch tall, with special design, powerful Siri features that controls all your music with voice commands. So this is going to be interesting, and it will be available in white and in space gray, as they announce it. So apparently, this new device will be amazing to have for your music enjoyment. So the HomePod starting at $349. So that's pretty much what I had to say about today's announcement. Of course, lots of nice little things were announced, and a little more interesting than last year. But this was pretty much a quick roundup of the major news at the Worldwide Developer Conference 2017. That was with the keynote today, June 5th, 2017. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Hope you enjoy this roundup of the Apple keynote.